All right, 4.2, we are still talking about triangle congruence. Today we're going to cover angle, angle, side, and angle, side, angle. So just two more shortcuts on how to tell triangles are congruent. So if you remember last unit or last section, we talked about side, 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 and side, angle, side. So again, we're just adding two more to that mix. So the first one is angle, side, angle. And so again, something to think about is you have one angle here that matches, you have a matching side, and then you have a second angle that matches. So it is, like we talked about in class, if we label it angle, side, angle, right? The side is in between those two angles. Okay, fourth and final one we're going to talk about is angle, angle, side. So the difference here, if I look at this, I still have a matching angle, I still have a matching side, and I still have my second matching angle. But if I label these, hopefully you notice angle, angle, side, right? Angle, angle, side. So the difference is that the side is not the included side, right? It's not in between the two angles, it's actually on the outside of those. All right, so looking at some examples here, these are congruent. We're just deciding if they're angle, side, angle, or angle, angle, side. So first one here, like Mr. Cost and I talked about in class, if we just label these, we have angle, side, angle, right? Angle, side, angle. So this one would be ASA. Again, that side is directly between the two angles here. All right, now if I look at this bottom one, here I have angle, and it might look like if I label it, I might say angle, side, angle, right? I might say it in that way. But again, if I go back and look at it, if I were to highlight the side that's between the two angles, right, that connects the two angles that I have, that's not the side that I know is congruent, right? So it isn't angle, side, angle, because that's not the side that we have. It would be angle, angle, side. Remember, we said we go in order there. Okay, so hopefully you guys can kind of see the difference between those two, and we will talk about those more, so hopefully it gets easier to see as we move on. Okay, so just like we started again in class the other day, we're first going to decide if they're congruent, and then if they are, we're going to give a reason. So now we have four possible reasons. We have side, 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 we have side, angle, side, we have angle, side, angle, and we have angle, angle, side. So we're looking for one of those four for our reason, and then we write a congruence statement. Okay, so remember, we always need three matching parts. If I look here, it seems that I have this angle matches this angle, I have this angle matches this angle, and so that's two, right? So even if we were just looking at the four options, it can't be side, 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 can't be side, angle, side, because we already have two angles, so neither of those would work. Now the question is, do we have a side? And the answer to that is yes, because they share this side MO. It's in both triangles. That's what we call the reflexive property, again, because it has to be congruent to itself. It's the exact same side, okay? So here we have angle, side, angle, angle, side, angle. So this would be a yes. My reason would be ASA. And then my congruence statement, I'm going to write triangle PMO. And then remember, it needs to match. So if I say P to M to O, what matches that would be NMO. Okay, and then my congruent parts match up in that congruence statement. Okay, next one up. So same thing. Here are four options: side, 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 angle, side, angle, side, angle, 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 side. You can kind of do like a elimination process when we do this, right? So I have one angle. Oops, I didn't want the highlighter on here. So I have angle matches this angle, right? I have this angle matches this angle. And now again, so it's not going to be either of those two. I have to look for that third side. Well, it's the same idea, right? We're sharing that side VY. So that is congruent to itself. So that's our side. Now we have to figure out, is it angle side angle or is it angle angle side? Well, remember we said when we're listing these, we're going to go in order. So if I look at those letters clockwise, it's going to go angle angle side. Okay? Same thing on this, on the right triangle, the right side here, angle angle side. So yes, my reason is angle angle side. Oops. I keep hitting the wrong button, I'm sorry. And again, congruent statement, I need to match. So let's say I say triangle ZVY. So again, I'm starting at Z, which is 1 mark. So that has to match W here. And then I'm going to V, which is going to match V. And then I'm going to Y, which matches Y. So ZVY is congruent to WVY. Okay, last thing we're going to talk about, it is giving us that we want to use angle angle side to prove that these two are congruent. So what extra part is missing for me to use angle angle side to prove they're congruent? So I have an angle and I have a side, right, in both of these. So I have to figure out where could I put my second angle to make this angle angle side, right? So I only have 2 choices. If I put it up here, if I were to say angle D is congruent to angle D, that gives me angle side angle, which is not what I want, right? So I know it has to be this angle here, E, is going to be congruent to N, because that gives me angle angle side. Okay, so the missing piece here would be angle E is congruent to angle N. All right, and so that is it for this lesson. We will continue this in class and do a couple more examples, and we'll kind of throw it all together.